Hello there, I'm Gloria Makarenko. Well, Indigenous-inspired food boxes and music traditions showcasing talents across the city. This is Our Vancouver. Coming up, we say tanshi to the creators of Indigenous-inspired charcuterie boxes. And revelations in soul music during Black History Month. But first, a youth-led initiative wants to know how you see the city of Surrey shaping up. Surrey is a city of youth. Did you know it has the largest population of young people in our region? That's people 25 years and under. And so many of them want to be engaged in civic life and contribute to the well-being of their communities. Well, now I would like you to meet some members of the Surrey Shapers. This is Public Spaces program. It's run by City Hive. And with us today are Monica Chima, Vedahi Gupta as well. And you've got some other friends as well. Welcome.
Thank you.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
So I'm Adrian.
And I'm Lisa.
Great to have you all here. So this whole group, why don't you tell me a little bit about the program, Vedahi?
Yes, of course. So Surrey Shapers is a cohort program run by City Hive, Vancouver, and it's basically for youth to get more involved in city planning. And there was about 18 of us in this whole program collectively.
Okay. Why were you interested in joining?
I was interested in joining this program because I really I really like volunteering inside Surrey, and I was involved previously in a lot of community engagement programs in Surrey, and this seemed like a really great opportunity for me to learn a little bit more about city planning and how civic engagement and government works.
I love that. Future politicians here. I can feel it. Monica, what about for you? What was the appeal?
Not a politician, more a storyteller.
Okay.
I was really interested, I come from a film background, so I was really interested in doing storytelling work, but maybe in a different context. And so the public space realm was really new to me, and I wanted to learn and sort of demystify some of that, and also be able to work with youth in an intergenerational way.
Okay, so tell me about your project, Seniors in Surrey.
Yeah, we're doing a photo installation where we'll have a chance to interview seniors. So we'll have youth interview seniors on the topic of land, on their relationship to land, and be able to offer in like certain languages, specific languages that relate to the communities that participate, photo boards as part of a public installation.
Okay, what's it been like for you being involved in this?
It's been amazing. I got to meet so many youth, and again, it really helped demystify a lot of the systemic and like public planning aspects of the city.
Okay. Vedahi, tell me about the project you worked on with Adrian.
Of course. So we worked on a project called Surrey Speaks. It's a community engagement initiative led by youth. And we basically designed our own canvases and put them up in Surrey Central Library for 3 days. And this was our main goal, was to create a creative, engaging and accessible way for people, Surrey residents and visitors, to tell us what they wanted to see more in their city.
Surrey Speaks.
Yes.
Surrey Speaks. Adrian, what did they speak? What did they say?
Well, they talked about housing a lot.
Okay,
They wanted more green spaces and just like more colorful, beautiful hanging out spaces in Surrey, because right now it doesn't feel like youth can just enjoy those spaces, and they have to go elsewhere to find that.
Well, it's interesting, again, to get in at the planning level, isn't it? How do these spaces even come about? What about for your project? Because that has sort of involved some green spaces as well, didn't it?
Yeah, actually it does. So my project is called Roots to Leaves, and it's a project where we bring green spaces to the city so that more youth can actually hang out.
So what's it been like for you all, hanging out together and working on some of these things? Vedahi?
It's been pretty amazing. We've gotten to talk to a lot of city planners and talk to a lot of people with the city of Surrey who make decisions around public planning and what can be put inside the public realm. So overall, this experience really taught me a lot more about municipal governments and the way that they take action into what they put in public spaces.
Right. Interesting. Politics in your future, perhaps?
Maybe city planning. Maybe city planning.
Maybe city planning. And Monica, what about for you? What do you think is the appeal for the people that you met through the projects and through the group?
There was such an openness to different disciplines. Like again, such a variety of youth coming to the table with very different backgrounds and like wildly different education. So that really offered a lot of diversity and just the way that we even would think and approach different problems. So that was really unique.
Okay, so when you think about where you live, where you study, where you were working on these projects, and what is sort of your image for your vision, I guess, of Surrey in the future?
I would like Surrey to be a place where people can come to hang out, for youth to talk about Surrey in a positive lens, and for Surrey to be a place where everyone is included. It's an accessible place, and it's a place for youth to build their own futures and see how they can mold their own city for their own betterment.
Yeah, we're above the same track
yeah.
there with betterment. Well put. No, really well put. And so where can people see some of these projects?
Do you want to start?
Well, my project will be ongoing in April with the plant extravaganza.
Okay. Okay.
And that'll be at the Civic Plaza as well.
Fantastic. Hey, listen, it's great to see young people involved in some planning for the future. And thank you all for coming in. Really nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
This is our Vancouver.
All right, are you ready for one of our favorite features? Yes, this is where we get to show off a number of the photographs that you send in. Thank you in advance. First, to Jody Simmons for sending in this shot of storm clouds on the horizon near the White Rock Pier. Just beautiful, brooding colors there. Thank you. And yes, we see you, barred owl hiding behind that twig. Ross Strachan snapped this one in Queen Elizabeth Park. What a beauty, amazing photograph. And finally, Richard Topping took this close-up of a song sparrow in Richmond. Stay warm, my feathered friend. And do send us more. It's easy. Just select your favorite photographs, send them by email to bcphotos@cbc.ca. bcphotos@cbc.ca. You know, it has been a long journey, but a Nuxalk totem pole has finally returned to Bella Coola after it was taken more than 100 years ago. It had been sitting at the Royal BC Museum, so let's take a look now at highlights of its trip home.
This is a good day for not only Nuxalk people, but people all over the world. After a long 4 years, you know, we're happy, and my great-grandfather is happy. He's rejoicing. And he's the one that came to me through my dream, and he's requested that we do the work that we're doing today by bringing back my great-grandfather's totem pole. It means a lot to us, and just to be around that totem pole, the spirit that's in the totem pole, you get feel what it felt like 100, 200 years ago. So a lot of us went to residential school. Lots of us are half assimilated now and nowadays, and we're so confused. I'm happy that we can put the totem pole right here in this school. Our family had decided that for a big purpose. This is where the children are, and this is the prime place that they will be able to see it, and history can be carried on for tomorrow.
The BC Parks Foundation put on a beautiful display of dazzling lit trees. You know, the organization kicked off a social campaign that it hopes is going to set the pace for environmental protections for years to come. Now, the idea is residents write and post their wishes for the future, so it's called the Wishing Tree.
So tonight we're launching the Wishing Tree. The Wishing Tree is a beacon or a place where British Columbians can share their wishes for BC's nature. For every wish that people make, we have donors that are going to contribute $10 to protect beautiful places across BC. We'll move it to other locations throughout BC over the next 3 years as we strive to protect 25% of BC by 2025. You can go online and make your wish, but when you come to the physical tree in English Bay and you speak into the podium, the tree will respond to your wish. As the kids are they wish for more foxes, they wish for more bears, they wish the bees will keep pollinating the flowers, they're wishing for a lot more fish in the sea and less pollution and less garbage and all those kinds of great things. Very few British Columbians know 1/4 of the world's coastal temperate rainforests are in British Columbia, 1/4 of the world's. We have some of the last large tracts of unroaded wilderness in the world. We're wishing really big to achieve this 25% protection by 2025, and we know it's going to take all British Columbians and all their wishes coming together to make that happen. It's been magic. It's been just so many people coming together, so many British Columbians with this outpouring of goodwill for nature.
Coming up, new research shows even the plants are retreating. How climate change in BC has Flora running up that hill. Johanna Wagstaffe has that story.
Try now, go put it in the chains. There you go.
Look how far I threw that.
Plants and trees are reaching for the top in recent decades, but that's not necessarily a good thing. According to a new study from Brown University, vegetation cover has moved upward at a rapid rate in mountainous Western North America. It's a trend we've seen many species undertake in a warming world. As climate change heats up areas of the planet, species are forced to shift their distribution north and to higher elevations in order to retain their historical temperature range of survival, from marine life to migrating birds to burrowing marmots. But the adaptive ability for species and ecosystems in mountainous areas to keep pace with the velocity of temperature change is not well documented. To better understand what might be happening with the mountainous flora, researchers analyzed 27 years of high-resolution satellite data within 9 mountain ranges in Western North America, taken between 1984 and 2011. Using these images, they quantified changes in vegetation cover at different altitudes in the mountain ranges that host a range of ecosystems, including tropical, subarctic, coastal, and interior desert. And we have all of those in British Columbia. The researchers found that this upward shift in vegetation at the highest elevation is happening right across all those diverse ecosystems. And it's occurring at fast velocities, outpacing many similar animal responses to warming temperatures. And unfortunately, that pace has likely sped up. Future research is needed to provide more recent data. The study only goes to 2011, and finding ways to capture data before 84 would help in extending the trends back to pre-industrial times. Understanding these shifts in species distribution could provide insights on the velocity of climate change and aid in conservation planning. And now you're Science Smart. If you have a science question on your mind, send me an email and I'll try to get it answered.
Hi, this is Rebecca.
And I'm Josh, and this is our Vancouver.
Johanna, thank you so much. You know, charcuterie, this is a fun and popular option when you're entertaining guests. And this whole idea, it originated in France. You're familiar with these charcuterie boards. You usually see a mix of, cured meats or maybe some cheeses, some pâtés. Well, now there is a new Vancouver-based business that specializes in Indigenous-inspired, handcrafted charcuterie boxes. And we're going to show you those today because Trevor Jansen and Marina Leclerc are with us. They own Tonchi Charcuterie. Now, it's so great to have you in studio because you've had a chance to talk on the radio, so we wanted to take a closer look at these boxes. Welcome. Thank you. Where did this whole idea come from? How did you get to charcuterie boxes?
Well, like all great ideas, Marina had this idea while she was in the shower.
Okay. Tell us about this eureka moment.
Well, I was in the shower and doing my moment of Zen, contemplating life, contemplating what I wanted to do next after COVID came to an end.
Okay, so this is the COVID pivot, or
it was the
just, like,
thing.
weird
Yeah,
thing.
it's like, you know, we lost our jobs and we had to like reinvent ourselves to a degree, but.
We had a lot of time on our hands.
Yeah, a
We
lot of
thought about what we wanted to do next, and we wanted to build our own business, make our family proud, and reconnect with our heritage.
I see. Well, let's talk about your own experience with the charcuterie boards. I mean, have you put them together yourself for entertaining prior to the business, that kind of thing?
Oh, absolutely. Prior to COVID, our house was a real community center point for our circle of friends and our community. You know, always having great conversations over food, and we just lost so many connections over COVID. And part of this was just to bring that back.
Right. No, there is something about that sort of communal feel when everybody gathers around the charcuterie board. I'm always picking. Okay, so tell me about Tanshi. Tanshi, what does that mean?
Tanshi means hello in Michif, which is the language of the Métis. Actually, Marina came up with this name while she was chatting with her father. Her father was teaching her a few things in Michif.
Yeah.
And while they were talking on the phone and we were considering this idea, I just happened to be at the computer and typed in tanshi.com.
Yes.
And that's where the name of the company came from.
Another moment. Okay, you know what I want to do? I want to dive into one of these. Into one of these. So let's just talk about what are when we're talking Indigenous flavor. Okay, this would be you get this, undo it. It's kind of like a gift already, isn't it? It's
Very
already.
much so. It is a very popular gift.
So you don't even have to do all the work yourself. You've done all the cutting and all the preparation and everything.
Yeah, the handcrafting is there. So the first thing to notice then is that what fell out here is a little QR code.
Okay.
That explains everything. People can scan this with their phone, and it explains everything in the board and how to enjoy it.
You are my QR code today. Okay.
I will happily be your QR code today.
You're going to take me through here. Okay, it's beautiful. You've got a lot in here. So where do you want to start?
Well, have you ever tried a pickled milkweed pod? Do you like pickles?
I love pickles.
Okay, well, a pickled milkweed pod is very much like a gherkin with the same sweet pickled flavor, but none of the crunch. And so it's best enjoyed in one bite, otherwise you'll wear the other half of it. And it's just one flavor explosion.
Where is that?
That is this
one
right here. Let's pull this out for
Oh,
you.
that's beautiful. It looks like a big caper or something like that.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay, can I try that? One bite.
One bite, please.
Oh, that's a nice flavor. And again, with the charcuterie, that sort of cuts into the fattiness of it, or with a pâté.
Very much like a palate cleanser. It's a bit of a acquired taste. It's my father's favorite.
I love that. No, I love that. Where else would you want to go?
The next thing I think we should try. Let's look. One of our favorite things that our customers share with us is the different ways they combine the flavors. So what I would suggest to you then is let's bust out a piece of the bannock here for you, and I'll pull out the cedar jelly here.
The cedar jelly. Oh, I love that.
This is super. And let's get a little piece of brie on
How do you
there
make
as
cedar
well.
jelly?
Oh, we don't make it. We
source it from out east.
Okay.
All right, there's a little
I'd love
big
to
old
know how to
dollop
make
on
it.
there.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't have like the kitchen going. You guys are you're the assemblers.
Yeah.
Is
Very
that
much
how that
so.
works?
Yeah, so we curate this. So
That is lovely and fresh.
Isn't it? It's like grounding. It's like you're in a forest.
It's like forest
you're in a
bathing
forest.
in your mouth.
I see the forest. I feel the trees.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
No, it is. It's really, and it's kind of got a freshness too, a lightness and a freshness. I really like that. Okay, cedar jelly. Cedar jelly. And where do you source? Where do you get these?
Those are from out east. The milkweed pods are common throughout Manitoba and Ontario, and we have a supplier in Ontario who supplies us with those.
Beautiful. Okay, so you just get everything. You get to put it all together. You get the fun part.
Absolutely.
Don't you? Okay.
Absolutely.
What else pairs with what?
So one of the really interesting things is there's different kinds of salmon. So here in the very middle here, we have Atlantic peppered salmon, and that's a very soft, almost creamy kind of salmon. Just grab a piece out of there. There'll be a little spoon here, and you can scoop a piece out of there. And that, in contrast with what's right beside it, is the coho salmon, which is a maple smoked, and it's almost like a chewy candy kind of salmon.
Right.
This is more of a savory, fluffy.
Oh, that is beautiful, though. I didn't take it from the spoon here, so I'm not double dipping.
Oh, it's okay.
There's that. That's key.
This is yours to enjoy.
This one is.
So this is the maple smoked salmon. A little bit more chewy, but a completely different taste to it.
So would you put that with what's under this one?
Anything you want.
So this is one of my favorites, the choke cherry jelly. Let's grab a piece of bannock again. And
Okay,
some of this on there.
Thank you very much. You're taking care of me, aren't you? Do you do this for fun? Like, do you just hang out at the house and just say,
Oh,
how
absolutely.
else can we put other combinations?
Oh, when
can
friends
we do
come
here?
over, I'm always in the kitchen. I'm like, I've got a nickname called the Snack Master. The Snack Master.
The snack master?
Snack master.
The Snack Master is what they call me.
I think you have a new name now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Okay, now what's your connection to some of these dishes in terms of your own background?
Well, Mom and Dad made this growing up. So I don't know, how do you answer that? Just
It's really like connecting with our roots and creating conversations over food. That's our connection to this.
So what kinds of conversations has this started in terms of reaction from your customers?
Well, some of the best feedback, other than how delicious it is that
I was
these
going to
boxes...
say the choke chair. I didn't even react to that. This is really lovely too.
It's one of my favorites. But yeah, it's one of the best feedbacks that we've gotten, aside from how delicious everything is that these boxes are conversation starters. People open up about their own Indigenous heritage or their connection to Indigenous people or places, and we just love to hear that.
I love to hear that too. So where can people find you?
We're available only online for delivery at tonshi.com.
Tonshi.com, where it all started in the shower.
Right.
With that idea, right? Thank you. The QR code was very good. You did a great job explaining.
Thank you very
I'm going
much.
to have a little bit more, okay? Thanks for coming in.
thanks for having us. Thanks, Dad.
Oh, that's so good. I love the bannock. If you'd like to get out and see some live music, Sloan is back. The power pop band hailing from the 90s Halifax music scene plays the Commodore Ballroom March 4th. And Winnipeg singer-songwriter Dylan McDonald, otherwise known as Field Guide, plays the Fox Cabaret March 1st.
I don't wanna waste the days.
Hey, I'm Grant Lawrence from CBC Music, and we all know it's awards season, and that pretty much goes for all forms of entertainment, including all genres of music. History was made recently at the Maple Blues Awards in Toronto, honoring the very best of the year in Canadian blues, roots, honky-tonk, rockabilly, and old-school rhythm and blues. This year, there was an unprecedented sweep pulled off by a BC-based band called Blue Moon Marquee. Oh yeah, that is Blue Moon Marquee with Hound Dog on a Chain, featuring lead vocals from stand-up bassist Jasmine Collette. The other half of Blue Moon Marquee is the barrel-voiced singer and guitar strummer A.W. Cardinal. The band has its roots in Alberta, but they now call the Cowichan Valley on Vancouver Island home. And earlier this year, Blue Moon Marquee swept those Maple Blues Awards, winning Entertainer of the Year, Acoustic Act of the Year, Record of the Year, and Producer of the Year, all for their 5th album, Scream, Holler, Howl. That marks the first time in the 26-year history of the Maple Blues Awards that one band has won in all those major categories. A.W. Cardinal is also the first Indigenous artist to win the Big 4 categories as well.
I asked for water. She brought me gasoline. I asked for water. She brought me gasoline. That's the meanest girl I've ever seen. Big black mama, you got me morning love.
That's Blue Moon Marquee with one of their most popular songs, Big Black Mamba, filmed at a live session in Victoria a few years ago. The Maple Blues Awards sweep is particularly gratifying for Blue Moon Marquee since they have spent the last decade on the road, and most of those awards are fan voted, meaning that it's the blues fans of Canada who are having their say. In fact, the band said, quote, "The best part of these awards is that they came from the people. All those years crisscrossing the country and sleeping in alleys with our instruments, this is the spark and the spur to keep us going," unquote.
Going down to the honky tonk. I'm gonna flip, I'm gonna fly. Honey, baby, look so fine. You're gonna make me
Yeah, that's Blue Moon Marquee with Scream, Holler, Howl from the album of the same name. And that is the song that you need to add to your Stompin' Blues playlist for this week. I'm Grant Lawrence from CBC Music. I'll check in with you again soon.
A Vancouver-based artist is getting attention for a mural that he painted featuring the controversial Kohinoor diamond. It's a diamond encrusted on the British royal family's imperial state crown. Some people say it was stolen from its rightful owners in India nearly 200 years ago. Well, artist Jesse Sopal tells us the story.
We're talking about the Kohinoor diamond. It tells a story of colonialism, but also that tale of the diamond was stripped from the right country. That's just one story. There's countless other stories we don't know about, so that's what it means to me. When I got the wall, I figured I should make it contextual to where the wall was going to be, so it's behind a jewelry store, HC Jewelers. First thing that came to mind was the Kohinoor diamond, the infamous diamond of India, and that's kind of where I based the story around. So in the center we have the Kohinoor diamond. It's like the center, the focus. And in Punjabi it says Kohinoor. Kohinoor means mountain of light in Persian. And looking away from the diamond are two Sikh men. And to me they represent Ranjit Singh and Dalip Singh, the last two rightful owners of the diamond. And it's almost like the diamond is lost, right? They don't know where it is. They're looking away from it. And the idea. And in Kohinoor, in English on the top as well, wanted to be a little bilingual, the mural, so people can of all backgrounds can look it up and see the history. Obviously the monarchy can return the diamond back to India, be a good gesture. I'm not sure if it would kind of correct everything, but I think it would be a good gesture overall.
Coming up, a Black Vancouver singer steeped in American soul shares some of her favorite songs. Hi, welcome back to Our Vancouver. I'm Gloria Makarenko. February is Black History Month, so we have been highlighting the voices of prominent Black musicians and performers, hearing about the music they love and how it moves them. This week, it's gospel singer Dawn Pemberton.
My name is Dawn Pemberton. I am a singer, performer, actor, radio host, and choir director. Revelations is a celebration of Black music. I am one of 4 hosts, and I will be playing some great, inspiring music all about soul. Soul music is varied and vast, just like human beings are. I think soul music is a medicine. I think all music created by Black people is a medicine because we had to endure a lot of oppression and violence, and I think we had to be resourceful and find ways to create joy and healing in our lives. One of my all-time favorite songs, and the song that speaks to me from this collection of songs that I picked, is called Rise by Corey Henry and the Funk Apostles.
All my people singing, we gonna rise.
It's just, when I press play, the beat right away gets me grooving, gets my body engaged, and it's really hopeful. It's really this song all about persevering and rising to the top. Another song that I'm really looking forward to sharing with listeners is a song called Fight For Me by a young artist named Bukola.
I've got to fight this fight on my own. No one can fight it for me.
She is a fantastic singer, guitar player, songwriter. I'm just really impressed by, her vision and her talent, and I just really think more people need to hear her. I really have to say I really love Say Something.
You better beg, plead, just tell me that you need me. Oh, so you gotta say something.
it's kind of like an anthem for speaking your mind and really speaking your truth and my truth. And it feels good to sing. When I sing it, I feel really powerful, and I like to ignite people. I think I want people in my audience, Black people in my audiences, to feel like they are seen. I want them to know that I see them, I see you. You are important, you are special, you are magical, you can take up space, you deserve to be here, and there is space for you in this world. So grab it, claim it.
Coming up, 2 Guardians of the Galaxy actors spill a few beans on the 3rd and possibly final volume of the hit Marvel series. Hi, welcome back to Our Vancouver. I'm Gloria Makarenko. Well, they're not the Avengers, but the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Marvel film is expected to fill theaters with a 3rd, maybe final installment of the series later this spring. I had a chance to chat with the series actors Sean Gunn and Michael Rooker on CBC's afternoon radio show On the Coast.
I see it within you. Fear, jealousy, betrayal. It is our duty to cleanse the universe of this weakness.
I'm sort of caught between talking about the series and talking about what it's like to come to town and kind of meet your fans.
Well, we
Michael?
can do both.
You can do both?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's fun to get out here and meet fans, particularly in the sort of superhero universe. All fans are very they're very adamant about what they love and what they don't love, and it's nice to sit down and hear it all.
Well, okay, Sean, so the trailer for the 3rd, maybe the final, as we say, Guardians film, it dropped during Super Bowl.
Yes.
Right? And so there were some funny moments, there were some strong emotional moments there. So without spoiling anything, what are you most excited for people to see in the film?
Well, I'm just really excited for people to see how the story sort of completes itself. It really feels like a real trilogy, and if you're a fan of the Guardians movies, you know that there's a lot of humor and action, but there's also a lot of heart and a lot of tears are shed at the Guardians movies, and this 3rd film is going to be no exception.
I'm really happy to see how you got out of that. That's pretty good. I don't think I could have done that well.
What, you mean saying a lot and saying nothing?
Yeah, answering your question, but not really answering the question.
It's a skill.
I love it. I learned I learned how to do that on The Walking Dead because every week we had something to spill, and you couldn't spill your guts at all.
There's always an NDA somewhere.
Well, Michael, your character's been interesting, and you've gone through one of the biggest arcs, I think, of any of the Guardians characters, right? In the first 2 films. So what was it like coming back last year to voice the character for the holiday special?
Oh, did you enjoy that?
Love that.
I adored the scene. It was a great scene. And what is that technique called? Rotoscoping.
Yeah.
Rotoscoping was invented 50 years ago or something like that, and they used it in this process.
Does
so
it hurt?
It was very cool. Pardon me?
Does it hurt?
Didn't hurt at all. It sounds like it would hurt a lot, right?
But I have to ask you also, Michael. I mean, you wear prosthetic teeth, right?
Oh, that's right, I do.
And as the live action Yondu, but when your character controls a flying arrow by whistling, that's really you whistling.
That's right. Really difficult to do it with the teeth.
Okay.
The teeth changes everything, and trust me, before we started filming, we worked on the teeth and the airflow, and we readjusted. It took like 6-7 weeks to get the teeth to a point where I could actually whistle
Bradley Cooper does the voice of Rocket in Guardians films. Fans know it's you though in the green suit, right? Any advice? I mean, you're crammed into this 3-foot raccoon for years. I mean, what's that like?
It's an unusual job to have. I never would have guessed that my career would have brought me there, but it's certainly fun, and I see myself in my role as Rocket as sort of a connector. I connect, the actors to the character, and I connect the visual effects team to the sort of initial rendering of the character, and I connect Bradley to what happens on set, and I'm just sort of there to be a facilitator.
He's a connector. That's right. Well, I got to tell you.
It takes a team to make Rocket.
Honestly, I mean, when we're walking across that bridge, and the Rocket's there, and Baby Groot's on my shoulder, all I can see is your mug down there. It's like you're the connector.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to imagine what's happening in post. Is that it? Like in the moment,
you have to. You use your imagination quite a lot. Your imagination is paramount in these kinds of movies. Yeah.
Fortunately for us, we have a lot of our sets built, which is nice. We're not just in front of green screens. Like anytime you see us on in a spaceship or something like that, like that's all built.
An actual
that's
spaceship.
all really there.
You pretend
well,
here and there.
Some of it. I mean, there was.
It's not a working spaceship. But
sometimes there's no door. You have to pretend like you're opening the door.
So how do you feel about just the appetite from fans for more Yondu?
The character is quite a cad, but lovable at the same time, and has a great spirit. Has a great spirit.
Is that a stretch?
Yeah, that's right. Well, James wrote the character for me with my sensibilities, so he knows me quite well now, and he wrote a beautiful role, and that it was like putting on a really nice, well designed pair of gloves that fit perfectly, so yeah.
Good. I mean, with that in mind, what was the last day on set like for Guardians?
Oh gosh, it was really the whole last couple weeks really were, and particularly the last week was really emotional because everybody who had been there from the beginting basically kind of gave a speech on their last day.
Wow.
And it was really something.
Did you cry?
I got a little misty a couple of times.
How about
I laughed, I cried. It was really beautiful.
Michael, we've been talking a lot about Yondu. You might be pretty busy right now, though, fronting a potential franchise of your own. You want to talk a little bit about Road Rage?
How did you know that?
Is it secret? Are we gonna?
Road Rage is me and my friend. My first director, well, not my first director, but the first, he did Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. We got a little project that we want to do. It's called Road Rage. And,
Oh, did he just do what you did?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I don't know how much I can say. I don't know how much I can say about it because you don't want to spill the beans before you even cook the beans yet.
Right. Okay. So we're just shopping for the beans right now. But okay,
well, we're not. It's further along than shopping, I think. Okay. But it should be interesting.
Well, I love it. I love an interviewer who can ask a question that makes Rooker quiet. That's the best. It makes him be quiet. That's the best.
I have to be a little bit quiet for this one.
This is our Vancouver.
This just came from the breakwater this morning down in Victoria. And we just sort of hit the beach hunting for, nice, rich-looking, full of lots of color. After a day or two, they get white. And, and you don't really want to put your mouth on them.
So where does this idea come from? Were you just walking along the beach one day?
I was in Ireland during this big Irish session. And I had learned a couple Irish tunes on the trumpet. And I worked up the courage and pulled the horn out in the middle of this Irish session. Everyone rolled their eyes and was like, what's going on? So for like 25 years now, I've played lots of Celtic music on the trumpet. There's this ancient history of this kind of, not necessarily brass playing, but this blowing into a long tube. Here we go.
A model train store may be pulling into the station for the last time. Yeah, Vancouver's Central Hobbies. It's been a place for mini train enthusiasts to let off some steam since the 1980s. The owner, though, is soon hanging up his hat, but he hopes someone else is going to take over.
11:42 from 20. Thank you. I woke up one day and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I love it, but I don't want to do it anymore. Well, I want somebody who's going to buy it to know enough about the business and the hobby to keep it going. I would be disappointed to see it go away, but I'm prepared for that. When I started off, I had a little bit of radio control stuff and a bunch of plastic models, but mostly it was all trains. Most of the details in here are things that you would buy and use on a train setup. All these vehicles, you put them together and you paint them and they'd be part of the scene on your train layout.
That's terrible. It's the only hobby shop left in the area that has a lot of trains. This was my happy place.
I appreciate the customers. There's many people who have enjoyed coming in here, and I've enjoyed having them.
Thanks for looking.
All right.
Now, at the end of this program, we like to tip our hats to our talented photojournalists on staff here at CBC Vancouver. They bring us images in their artful ways that can give depth and character to the stories that we cover. So just watch this. Here's a sampling from what they saw this past week. How time flies. That's all for our Vancouver for this week. I hope you can join me weekday afternoons on CBC Radio 1 for On the Coast. Bye-bye for now.